I'm thinking about making a recording of all the songs for the album London Calling, because I really love that album. I've been listening to it a lot recently. And Clash has always been one of my favorite bands from that era, late 70s, early 80s. Kind of a crossover between, classic rock and roll, reggae, dub, beat music, punk. They're falsely labeled as a punk band, which doesn't begin to capture the breadth and the scope of their output. And actually, the first concert I ever saw, live concert, was a Clash concert when I was 14 years old. I saw their combat rock concert in the Boston area. I think it was at the Worcester Centrum. Blew my ears away. Took days to recover my hearing from that concert, but very memorable concert. I think that time it was just Joe Strummer. Mick was already out. He was already starting his band, Big Audio Dynamite, which I also love that band as well, from the 80s. Anyway, I'm going to try this song, Lost in the Supermarket. It was, I just recently heard a podcast from Sound Exploder. I think that's the name of the podcast. Somebody turned me on to that podcast, and there was a guy talking about how Lost in the Supermarket had this profound influence on him. It's a really great podcast. I'll put the information on this video, but I highly recommend it. But anyway, it got me thinking about this song, Lost in the Supermarket. Like, it had always been kind of one of the songs on the album that I appreciated, but never really dug into it. So today I kind of dug into the song, looked at the lyrics a little more carefully. And it's kind of a suburban angst kind of song, which I guess all of us who grew up in the suburbs can relate to in some way or another. So I'm going to play the song. It's standard tuning. You start with E up here. So you're kind of barring. You can bar or you can do this. I kind of like pulling my thumb over. Makes it a little easier than barring all the time. So then it goes from E to C sharp minor. So if you do it here, you can do it here, but I think it's better to do it this way. I'm lost in the supermarket. I can no longer shop happily. Came here for the special offer, guaranteed personality. See, kind of a Clash thing. It goes to G sharp minor from E to G sharp minor, keeps it kind of in tension. Very interesting, very unusual kind of way to wrap up a chorus. So it's E, C sharp minor, A. And I like to keep the open note at the top, have the E kind of ring out throughout the song. It's kind of a nice sound. You could even try ringing both these, the B and the E, since it's in the key of E. All lost in the supermarket. I can no longer shop happily. Came here for the special offer, guaranteed personality. I wasn't born so much as I fell out. Nobody seemed to notice me. Had a hedge back home in the suburbs, over which you never could see. I heard the people who lived on the ceiling scream and fight most scarily. Hearing that noise was my first ever feeling. That's how it's been all around me. I'm all lost in the supermarket. Whoops, it's easy to get a little bit lost in this song if you got to really separate the chorus from the verse. So the verse is E, and then B, C sharp minor, and it goes much faster than the chorus. And then A, B, E. See how I like to play E up here because it's much easier than going all the way down here if you're bar chording. So A, B, E. So E, B, C sharp minor, A, B, E. And then the second part of the verse goes C sharp minor, B, A, B, E. Isn't that clever? So let's start again with the chorus. All lost in the supermarket, I can no longer shop happily. Came here for that special offer, a guaranteed personality. All lost in the supermarket, I can no longer shop happily. Came here for that special offer, guaranteed personality. I'm all tuned in, I see all the programs, save coupons from packets of tea. Got my giant hit discotheque album, empty a bottle and I feel a bit free. Kids in the halls and the pops in the walls, making noises for company. Long distance callers make long distance calls, and the silence makes me lonely. I'm all lost in the supermarket, I can no longer shop happily. Came in here for that special offer, guaranteed personality. I'm all lost, and it kind of just breaks off when I'm all lost. I'm all lost. I'm all lost. I'm all lost. So you can see how kids around the world would kind of, I don't know, empathize with this song about being kind of lost in the suburbs or lost in some housing project, which it kind of sounds like a big apartment blocks, kids in the halls and pipes in the walls, you know, the kind of neighborhood constructed. So it's kind of about, you know, people who are disadvantaged, maybe you could say. Kids growing up in a kind of a disadvantaged neighborhood where going to the supermarket was sort of a luxury expedition that when your parents had money, which is exactly what the guy on the Sound Exploder podcast was talking about. And I forget his name, but apparently he's a well-known author now. So again, I'll put his name on this video, but I thought that was just a great explanation and his connection of the song to his own personal experience kind of growing up and how he first heard the album in the library of his community and kind of listening on a CD in the library, and it kind of was his discovery of the Clash. I mean, I was, I guess, a little bit more privileged in the sense that I discovered the Clash through, you know, friends. I think when we were young teens, we started collecting Clash albums. Back then it was vinyl albums, right? This was before the CD age. And I don't think I ever owned a Clash album, but my friends owned them. And so I would, you know, record them and put them on cassette tape and listen to them. I did have a couple of Clash cassette tapes. I think I had Sandinista was one of my favorite albums from that time. And the early Clash, I think it was the first Clash album I had on cassette tape. Anyway, so that's it. This video is going on way too long. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care and put on London Calling.